just a minute.
Okay.
This is Stonehouse Apartments versus Nicole Stewart. They keep changing the names. This is the Texas Avenue Apartments in Sturgis. This is filed as a non-payment of rent case. The renowned Tyrone Fleeman is here on behalf of Stonehouse Apartments. Miss Stewart, I need to advise you of your rights as a tenant in a landlord-tenant proceeding. As a defendant in a landlord-tenant proceeding, and ladies, this applies to you as well, including non-payment of rent, termination of tenancy, or other premises actions, you have the following legal rights. You have the right to obtain counsel for representation in this matter. If you cannot afford an attorney, a legal aid attorney may be available to help you. And the equally renowned Meg Bauer is here from Western Michigan Legal Aid for consultation if needed. You can also hire an attorney of your own choosing if you wished. You have a right to a trial by a jury or by the court if the action is for non-payment of rent, and if you are eligible for any assistance from any agency, you do not need a judgment to get that assistance. The summons and complaint are sufficient. You've already received that. If the plaintiff is agreeable, the Citizens Mediation Services, Inc., which is our local mediation service, would be available as a possible source of case resolution. If both parties are agreeable to mediation, call the court and we can help set that up. If you do reach an agreement with the plaintiff and a consent judgment is entered by the court, you would waive the rights listed above, but have the following additional rights. The judgment may not be enforced until 3 business days had passed. You could move to set aside the judgment within those 3 days if you misunderstood what you consented to or what you were waiving. Your motion to set aside the judgment would be set for a landlord-tenant hearing. However, if the judge does not find in your favor, the original judgment would stand. At the time of filing, the arrearage was over $1,000. What's the status here today, Mr. Fleeman? I would also note that Jessica Flores, the manager, is present.
She is. Your Honor, I'm showing excuse me, a balance of $1,273.63 through October, and $186.85 in court costs, for a total of $1,460.48. This is an RD voucher situation where she has rural development who pays on a voucher. Looks like those payments have all been posted, including the October payment, but I don't see a tenant payment since June of this year. So if Ms. Stewart has made any payments in the last, like since Friday or whatever, my ledger doesn't reflect that.
So the 108 is her share after the vouchers?
Yes.
Ms. Stewart, what's your position?
Well, Your Honor, see, my husband passed away last year, and it was kind of hard to be there with all the memories, and my boyfriend needed help up here in Grand Rapids where I'm staying at. And so I'm up here helping him with his children.
So do you plan to move out?
At this time, I have no idea. I mean, I don't know. I would like to stay there, but I don't know if he still needs my help or not. He hasn't answered it.
Well, the government is paying a voucher for you to live there, and you're not living there, and you're not paying your share since June. So there's someone on a waiting list who would like to have this apartment if you're not going to use it. So this is the first hearing. You're entitled to have an adjournment of at least 7 days.
Okay.
And I would suggest you talk to Jessica. Because if you're not there and you're not paying your share of the rent, the state is paying the big portion of it. You've got your stuff there, so it's like a storage facility. But
Yes,
unless
Your
you pay $1,460, you would be subject to being evicted 17 days from today. So let's take a look.
Mhm.
And Your Honor, I did not include November's rent, and I heard you mention to the other gentleman that obviously November's rent is 2 days
Yes.
away. And so that'll be
So
on
that
the
would take us
108
to
would be after
November
that.
6th.
Yeah, I didn't have any physical help to move my stuff out because, you know, it's just me and I got muscular dystrophy. So it's hard for me to carry anything out of that
Yes.
apartment.
Well, I will continue this to November 6th, 2024 at 2:40, 2023, excuse me. Now, we would add another $108 to that through November.
Yes, sir.
So that would be 1568. That amount is due, or you would be subject to being evicted on November 16th, which would be 10 days from next Monday.
Okay.
So if you're going to move, you've got 17 days to do it. If you can't move, the eviction is where the sheriff comes and puts all your stuff out on the street. Very unpleasant process. So I'm not sure. You got to have some hard decisions to make.
Yes,
Are you
sir,
going
I
to
do.
move back to your apartment and pay the rent, or move out? They could apply your security deposit to any unpaid rent.
Right.
And if you do move, you need to turn in the keys and give your forwarding address in writing within 4 days of your moving. I'm not ordering right now that you pay the rent. I'm ordering that you pay the rent if you wish to stay there.
Yes,
If
sir.
you move, we'll have another hearing to determine it. But right now, it's by Zoom once again, next Monday, November 6th at 2:40.
So basically,
Got
if
it?
I paid the rent for November, am I okay? Or do I have
No,
to
you
pay
have to
full-
pay this entire amount.
Ooh.
$1,568.45 would pay your rent through November.
Okay, I don't make it that much to pay all that right now, to be
Yes.
honest with you.
What is the total rent, Ms. Flores?
708, Judge. The RD voucher, the rural development voucher is paying $600 a month, and Ms. Stewart is supposed to be paying 108 per month. Sorry, Jessica.
All right, that's the answer. So your actual rent's 708, someone else is paying $600 of it. And they would probably just soon not do that to pay for an empty apartment. But you can talk to Jessica, your manager, and you're gonna have to decide what you're going to do. But we'll discuss this further next Monday afternoon at 2:40.
Next Monday, 2:40? Okay.
Yes. All right, you're good to go.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Becker is here from his world headquarters. We don't usually see him from there, but are you here on the Nicole Stewart case?
I am.
All right. She indicated that she was going to be here. And so we're waiting for her. Mr. Fleeman was here last time, and I don't know where Meg was, if she had left earlier, what happened. It's a non-payment of rent case. And he indicated that he would have you here early, which I appreciate. So her rent is currently at 0, but there's an arrearage that they've been working on. The arrearage, I think, was $1,000. $460.48. If we added November, it was another 108, which gave us 1,568.48 through November. Is that what you showed, Tom?
I'm not. I've got, they're showing a rent to retain through this month of 1,996.63. Also 186.85. It looks like she has I mean, it looks like her portion of the rent is 108, and there's a voucher.
108, that's what I was advised.
Yeah, her rent is there's a voucher amount of 600. It looks like it hasn't come in. So that's part of one of the charges.
Yeah, we were waiting for RDH voucher of 600.
And it looks like that would come through on about the 10th.
Miss Stewart, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, good. Sometimes my phone hates me.
Me too. Mr. Thomas Becker is here today by limited appearance on behalf of the Bradshaw and Fleeman office, behalf of Stonehouse Apartments. We made quite a lengthy record last week with Mr. Fleeman.
Yes.
And your manager, Jessica, trying to figure out what the rent was. This is filed as a demand for non-payment of rent. Mr. Becker, what's the current arrearage?
Through the month of November, we're showing $1,996.63, cost of $186.85 for a total of $2,183.48. It looks like that voucher payment should be made, that 600 should be made anytime, I guess, but it's not in the ledger yet.
And we determined that her share is 108, and I think now it might even be at 0. I wasn't clear on that, but there's a lot of back payment that needs to be done. As I indicated, this is a different number than we came up with.
Yes.
We had 1,273.63 through October, and I added only her 108. You added the entire market rent of 708. So that gives you the 1,996.63.
My rent was 108 a month.
Yes. And then the voucher was 600, which makes it total 708 per month. What's the status here, Miss Stewart?
Well, my daughter was gonna help me this past weekend, but she had to go to a funeral. Her son, my soon-to-be grandson's brother died, so gonna have to wait till next weekend.
All right, well, you've got some additional time. Now, Miss Flores was there, and you're working with your caseworker also?
No, who's my caseworker? I'm sorry, this is new.
Well, who was paying this and the other $600?
Oh, I have no idea. I think the voucher was.
Yes.
It's like I told her, I sent her a voicemail yesterday. I would like to come back, but I can't afford the 1,700 or whatever amount it is now.
Well, you're not even living there, is that correct?
Not at this point. My stuff is still there, but I told her they asked if I wanted to move back, and I was like, I would like to, but I can't afford the amount to come home to. You know.
Right. Well, you have 10 days from today to pay that amount or move.
Okay.
And so 10 days from today.
Go on. I'm sorry, sir.
10 days from today would be November 23rd.
That's on.
No, excuse me,
Thanksgiving.
November 16th. Today's the
Okay.
6th, November 16th.
All right.
All right, November 16th, and your stuff has been there for some months without you in it, and they're paying this voucher, and there's someone who would like to have this apartment.
Oh, I understand.
I
that. I'm
suggest
trying.
you stay in contact with Ms. Flores.
Yes. I sent her a voicemail yesterday, but she never called me back, so I don't know if she got it or not, because I called her yesterday with my real phone number.
All
So,
Well, perhaps she will if she doesn't try again, but you're gonna need to get your things out of there.
yes, sir.
Um,
Like I said,
Now-
my daughter was going to do it, but they
you
have
also
to.
have 10 days to appeal this.
I would like to.
You'd like to appeal it?
Yeah, I'd like to try to
Okay.
come home, but I can't afford the amount.
Well, that's the problem. You
Yeah, I only
haven't
make
been
like-
there.
Yeah, I only
And
make
so-
like 900 a month. You know.
Yes. Mr. Becker, would you either yourself or ask Mr. Fleeman to send me a judgment?
We'll do so.
Now, let me tell you a couple of other things.
Yes, sir.
If you move, which it sounds like you're going to do, you're really not even there and haven't been there for some time. You need to turn in your keys and give your forwarding address in writing within 4 days of your moving. That triggers the security deposit law. Stay in contact with Jessica. I'm not ordering you to pay this money, $2,183.48. I'm ordering you to pay it if you wish to stay there.
I would
If you
like
pay
to,
it, you
but
get-
yeah, that's kind of
Yes.
hard when I don't have that
Well, a
much.
couple things. One, you don't have the money to afford it, and B, you're not there. So you're paying an awful lot of money for a storage unit for your stuff.
Correct.
And you're taking care of a friend, and
It's my boyfriend and his kids. Yes.
yes, so plan on vacating unless you pay that money. When you do vacate, turn in your keys and give your forwarding address in writing within 4 days of your moving.
Okay.
All right, Ms. Stewart, good luck.
Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Becker, thanks for covering for Mr. Fleeman since